Chapter 08, The Ugliest Man One Can See. The Ugliest Man One Can See. There was once a man who was so ugly that on the day he was born, the doctor, instead of slapping the baby at first sight, ran out the door. And even though he came out the womb, she was told, it won't be a sin to kill such an ugly child. But yet to his mother he was the most beautiful baby she had ever saw, and she would not dream of killing her little angel. In school no one wanted to be around him, so he sat alone, played alone, ate lunch alone, and grew up pretty much alone, but not without his mother's and father's love, who while they was alive showed much love. But the day came, as we all have to in one time pass away from one life here below, to heaven above. So the father was the first to pass away, and he said before he passed away to his son, "You will be a king. I don't know how, but I was promised you would." Then his mother Aswell had to say goodbye. Before her death his mother said, "In time you will be given a beautiful wife and many beautiful children I saw, who will love you as you are, for I prayed to God it to be so." He lived in a house in a forest away from society, hidden from the world, because people seem not understand why a mother and father should keep such an ugly child. Next to his house he kept a garden, the most beautiful garden one could ever known. And next to the garden was buried his mom and dad. And every day he will go and take care of the garden, cry for his mom and dad. Many miles away there was a palace of a king and queen who had a beautiful daughter, which many men dreamed of marrying, but none good enough for her. So the king and the queen sent his daughter to another kingdom, where they knew she will find her prince. But trusting the guards, they did not know they planned to kidnap her and not take her to her destination. The last words the king and the queen said to their daughter was, "I spoke to King Frank, he has a handsome son, and I arranged the marriage go, and I'll see you within a year, hopefully married with a prince that will be a king. Love you, my daughter, and I'll see you very soon." As the princess left with her kidnappers, they took her by another path, and threw away forest where they imagined no one but they would be, not knowing the ugliest man there would be. They tied her up, blindfolded her, and let her scream. But no one heard her except from a distance, the ugliest man one could ever be. As the men talked about how much they will receive from the king and queen to see their lovely daughter once again, the ugliest man was now approaching to save someone who you imagine needed to be saved, and not expecting a reward for what he wants to do. As he approached the area he yelled out, "Let her go." One of the knights, who was a kidnapper, was the first to draw his sword to the ugliest man, and as he was going to attack, he tripped on a rock and fell on his sword. As this was happening, she knew she was being saved, and her heart pounded in love for the man who was willing to risk his life for a woman he did not know. Another knight grabbed the sword and approached the ugliest man one can ever know. As he was about to swing, his heart stopped, and would not beat no more because of fear of the ugliest man one can ever see. The third knight said he is a warlock or some demon of some kind. At this the ugliest man felt offended, and grabbing a sword ran towards him, and the knight with other knights running and screaming ran away. As they ran, they left the princess all alone. But not alone, there was the ugliest man who untied her and let her go. The blindfold was the last thing he removed. Before he removed the blindfold, he told her, "Don't scream, for I am the ugliest man you can ever see." And seeing him, she saw the most handsome man one can ever see. So as the mother and father of the most handsome man one can ever know said, he became a future king, with a beautiful wife and beautiful children one can ever see. So the moral of the story is, don't judge a person by their appearance or what you see, for that may be the most beautiful person you might see and know.